Be me, tenant in small apartment. Visually impaired, rely on my guide dog Jasper. Jasper is calm, loyal, trained to keep me safe. Landlord Richard is a nightmare. Never knocks. Always barges in like he owns not just the building but the air inside. Today he storms in again. Clacking shoes echo like a warning. Holding a crumpled eviction notice like it's a royal decree. Already know what's coming. He waves the paper in my face. No animals in my building. That mutt has to go. If you don't comply, you're out. Jasper lifts his head but stays calm, trained to ignore hostility. I rest my hand on his harness, steady myself, keep my voice calm. Jasper isn't a pet, he's a service animal. Federal law protects my right to have him here. Richard rolls his eyes so hard I think they'll get stuck. Scoffs like I just told him the earth is round. Federal law, blah, blah, blah. Everyone hides behind that nonsense. This is MY property, my rules. Leans in close, breath hot, voice dripping with menace. You think you're clever? I'll shut off your heat. I'll raise your rent. I'll make your life miserable until you pack up and leave. You'll regret ever bringing that animal in here. Inside his head, I can practically hear the gears grinding. He thinks he's untouchable. His inner monologue practically leaks out. She thinks she can lecture me? Me? I own this place. I make the rules. Not some blind tenant with a dog. I'll crush her. I always win. I don't flinch, don't raise my voice, just stay calm. Then I'll see you in court. Richard freezes for a second, like he didn't expect me to fight back. Face twists into a sneer, storms out, muttering, Court schmort, waste of time. I'll crush her, I always win. Door slams behind him. Silence fills the room. Jasper nudges my hand gently, tail wagging, steady presence, like he's saying, we'll be okay. I smile faintly, because I know we will. Richard thinks he's above the law, but arrogance doesn't win in court. Stage is set, battle lines drawn, entitlement versus dignity. His threats echo in my mind. But so does my resolve. I won't be bullied. I won't be pushed out. Jasper and I will fight, and we'll win. Few weeks later, finally in court after Richard's threats, room packed, tension thick, neighbors came to watch. Richard slouches at the defense table, chewing gum loudly like a teenager, tapping his pen against the wood, muttering under his breath, "This is a joke, I shouldn't even be here." His arrogance fills the room. I sit with my lawyer, Sarah, Jasper at my feet, calm as ever. Judge Ramirez enters. Everyone quiets instantly. Richard doesn't even look up, still slouching, still chewing. Judge Ramirez says, "Mr. Richard, you're accused of violating the Fair Housing Act. How do you plead?" Richard smirks, "Not guilty. I run my building how I want. Animals are disgusting. They scratch floors, they smell." End of story. His voice dripping with entitlement. Sarah stands composed. Your preferences don't override federal law. Service animals are essential. You ignored warnings. You attempted an illegal eviction. Richard interrupts before she finishes. Warnings, ha? I don't take orders from lawyers. Or judges, or anyone. I'm the landlord. I make the rules. Judge Ramirez leans forward, voice sharp. "Mr. Richard, this is not about your ego. This is about the law." Richard throws his hands up dramatically, like he's on stage. Unbelievable. "Everyone's against me? I'm the victim here." Murmurs ripple through the courtroom. I can feel the tension building. Sarah calmly gathers her papers, preparing evidence. Richard mutters louder, "This whole thing is rigged. Tenant conspiracy. They're all trying to take me down." His inner monologue practically leaks out. I own this place. I'm the king here. They can't tell me what to do. Judge Ramirez watches him with narrowed eyes. Richard keeps tapping his pen, louder, faster, like a drumbeat of defiance. Sarah whispers to me, "He's digging his own grave." I nod quietly. Jasper shifts, sensing the tension. Richard leans back in his chair, smirking like he's untouchable, but his words betray him. This court is a waste of time. I should be home collecting rent. Instead, I'm stuck here with clowns. Judge Ramirez clears throat. Mr. Richard, you will remain respectful. Richard scoffs. Respect. Respect is earned. And none of you have earned mine. Sarah raises an eyebrow, whispers again. Every word he says makes our case stronger. I can't help but smile faintly. Richard notices, glares at me. Inner monologue boiling. She's mocking me. I'll crush her. I always win. But the courtroom isn't his kingdom. Judge Ramirez signals for evidence presentation. Sarah stacks documents neatly. Richard sighs loudly, mutters again. Evidence, evidence, evidence. All fake, all lies. His arrogance is suffocating. But it's also unraveling him. Judge Ramirez, we will review the evidence shortly. Richard interrupts again. Why bother? I already told you I don't want animals. That's my rule. My building, my choice. Judge Ramirez slams gavel. Mr. Richard, this is not your choice. This is federal law. Richard freezes for a moment, then laughs nervously. Federal law, state law, whatever. It doesn't apply to me. Room goes silent. Sarah looks at me. Her eyes say it all. Richard just admitted he thinks he's above the law. The tension is unbearable. But I feel calm, because arrogance always collapses. And Richard is collapsing in real time. Courtroom now tense, everyone waiting. Sarah stands tall, ready to present evidence. Richard slouches, chewing gum, tapping pen like a child. Neighbors whisper, curious to see what happens. Sarah begins. Your Honor, we have emails, testimony, and Jasper's certification. She lays out the documents neatly. Richard smirks, pretending not to care. Sarah continues. This is textbook discrimination. My client was bullied, threatened, and treated as if her rights were optional. Richard suddenly explodes. Optional. Everything's optional if I say so. I own the building. I decide who lives there. His voice echoes through the courtroom. People shift uncomfortably. His arrogance fills the air. Inner monologue practically visible on his face. They're all laughing at me. The judge, the lawyer, even the dog. I'll shout louder, I'll scare them into backing down. He starts pacing, gestures wildly. What's next? Goats, pigs, snakes? Turn my building into a zoo? Sarah doesn't flinch, her voice dry, cutting. Service animals are not goats, pigs, or snakes. Your exaggerations highlight your ignorance. Richard points at her furiously. Ignorance? You're twisting the law. You don't know what it's like to keep floors clean, to keep tenants in line. Judge Ramirez interrupts. Mister. Richard, sit down. Richard slams his chair back, mutters loudly. This is tyranny. Absolute tyranny. I should have raised rent on all of them. Courtroom murmurs rise. People whisper, shaking heads. Richard keeps ranting. I'm the victim here. Everyone's against me. Tenant conspiracy. Lawyers, judges, all corrupt. His face red, veins bulging, inner monologue spiraling. They're plotting against me. I'll sue them all. I'll show them who's boss. He pounds the table with his fist. Papers scatter. Sarah calmly picks them back up, doesn't even look at him. Richard notices, gets angrier. Look at her. Acting all calm. She thinks she's smarter than me. She's not. Judge Ramirez slams gavel. Mr. Richard, control yourself. Richard ignores him. Control? I don't need control. I need respect, and none of you respect me. His voice cracks. Neighbors whisper louder. Jasper shifts at my feet. Calm, steady, unfazed. I rest my hand on his harness. Feel his quiet strength. Richard keeps spiraling. This whole court is a circus. You're clowns. I'm the ringmaster. His laughter echoes, manic. Judge Ramirez stares him down. Richard doesn't notice, too lost in his own rant. I should evict everyone, raise rent sky high, make them crawl back begging. His words dripping with spite. Sarah finally speaks. Your Honor, this behavior speaks for itself. He cannot control his temper. He cannot respect the law. Richard interrupts again. Respect the law. The law should respect me. I'm the landlord. I make the rules. Judge Ramirez slams gavel again. Mr. Richard, enough. Richard freezes for a moment, then mutters, "This is all fake. All lies. I won't pay a dime." His arrogance collapsing into desperation. Courtroom murmurs louder. Neighbors shaking heads. Sarah whispers to me, "He's destroying himself." I nod quietly. Richard keeps muttering, "I'll sue the government. I'll sue the judge. I'll sue the dog." His meltdown absurd. People laugh under their breath. Richard hears, face turns crimson. "You think this is funny? You'll regret laughing at me." Judge Ramirez leans forward, voice sharp. "Mr. Richard, sit down and be silent." Richard slams chair again, mutters incoherently. "Tyranny, conspiracy, victim." His meltdown complete, courtroom buzzing. Everyone knows Richard just lost. Courtroom now buzzing after Richard's meltdown. Judge Ramirez's patience finally snaps, voice sharp, cutting through the noise. "Mr. Richard, your arrogance does not place you above the law. You violated the Fair Housing Act. You will pay damages, attorney's fees, and civil penalties." Room goes silent, everyone waiting for the numbers. Judge Ramirez reads aloud, $75,000 in damages, $50,000 in legal fees, mandatory compliance training. Richard's jaw drops, eyes wide, face pale. "Wait, what? That's robbery. You can't do this to me. I'm the landlord." Judge Ramirez coldly responds, "You are also a lawbreaker." Case closed. Gavel slams. Richard bangs the table furiously. Papers scatter everywhere, shouting incoherently, "This is a witch hunt, a conspiracy. I'll sue the government. I'll sue the judge. I'll sue the dog." Courtroom erupts in murmurs. Neighbors whisper, some laugh quietly. Bailiff shakes his head. Richard's face crimson, veins bulging, inner monologue spilling out. "They're all against me. I'll appeal, I'll fight back, I'll win." But his voice cracks, his bravado crumbling. I lean down to Jasper, whisper softly, "We did it, boy. Justice won." Jasper nudges my hand, tail wagging gently, steady presence in the chaos. Richard still ranting. "Government overreach. Scam. I'll appeal. I'll sue everyone." Judge Ramirez ignores him. Already moving on to next case. Richard storms out of courtroom. Reporters swarm outside, microphones shoved in his face. He waves them off angrily. "This is all fake. Media lies. I'm the victim." Voice cracking with desperation. Cameras flash. Neighbors shake heads. I step outside with Jasper. Calm, composed. Reporters turn to me. "Maya, how do you feel about the verdict?" I smile faintly, relieved. This wasn't just about me. It was about every person with a disability who deserves dignity and respect. Today proved that no one is above the law. Jasper wags his tail. Press leans in closer. Richard stomps down courthouse steps, still ranting to no one in particular. "I'll sue the city. I'll sue the state. I'll sue the country." His voice echoes hollow. People laugh quietly. His arrogance now just desperation. I stand tall. Jasper beside me. Neighbors congratulate me. Sarah smiles proudly. "You did it," she says. I nod, because we did. Richard disappears into the crowd, still muttering incoherently. His empire of entitlement crumbled, his arrogance shattered, his threats meaningless, justice delivered. I breathe deeply, finally free of his harassment. Jasper leans against my leg, steady, loyal. I whisper again, "We did it, boy." And we walk away, leaving Richard to drown in his own rage. Victory.